Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. For today, we get a double shot of Truthseekers. You know, some days I struggle for enough content to fill a show, to do a really good job, uh, and just even to have enough things to say, enough things to talk about to fill a show. But today is quite different. Uh, there is a lot of breaking information and that sort of gets me excited enough to do not one, but two shows today covering this topic. Earlier today, I produced a show detailing an insider's view into the lies and fraud and fakery of Emery Smith. Now, I should say that even in the few short hours since that broadcast, my inbox has filled up with people, some of which I'm sure are big supporters of Emery Smith. And we played a gentleman's video who said that his daughter dated Emery Smith for 4 years. They were living together as well. I checked into this gentleman before using him as a source and playing his testimony, and was satisfied that he is who he said he was. And yes, his daughter did indeed date Emery Smith and live with him for several years. I consider him a good source. I'm sorry if you don't. These people that are attacking him and by extension attacking me for sharing his information have not done that vetting, have not made phone calls to check into this person as I did earlier today. I don't know him, but I know several people who do know him, just from sort of the, UFO conspiracy land conventions and things. He's been at some and has been an interested party into these subjects for many years. This is how he got involved with Emery Smith to begin with. In the video, this gentleman details a great deal of fakery, fraudery, and bullshittery perpetrated by Emery Smith. But he also implicates David Wilcock for just straight making fake shit up about events in Emery Smith's life. I suppose in order to garner sympathy for Emery Smith and get people to donate money based on these fantastical claims that David Wilcock was making about Emery Smith. Also leaked by this gentleman is the fact that David Wilcock has cited a secret government insider known as Paul in talks, in videos, in appearances. He has talked about this Paul. Paul is Emery Smith. Why he would use Emery Smith to be two separate people is beyond me. But that's David Wilcock, dumbass extraordinaire, fake psychic, fake Edgar Casey, fake teeth motherfucker. That's David Wilcock. And of course, he's going to milk a fake source for all it's worth. Not only did he milk the fake source of Emery Smith, but he decided to make Emery Smith a whole different fake insider for himself. And this was revealed to us by this gentleman who created these videos, Emery Smith Exposed. His YouTube channel is Points on the Curve. I decided that, it's pretty rare, actually, that I have a bigger bullhorn than another content creator, and I happen to have a bigger bullhorn than this gentleman. He's trying to get this information out there to the public, so we here decided that we were going to basically have a watch party and play his first video and talk about the information that he presents. And it's very compelling, friends. And for those idiots who emailed me earlier today saying, you don't even know if this guy is who he says he is. He probably doesn't even know Emery Smith. He didn't know Emery Smith. He's just some guy that doesn't like Emery Smith, and he's just making all this. No, he's not just some guy. It's verified. He had a relationship for many years with Emery Smith. His daughter lived with Emery Smith. I would think that he's a trustworthy source about these events. And for those stupid people who think that I just accept a source and go, okay, let's run with this. We don't know if this guy really knew Emery Smith. I checked, okay? I checked the best I could, and I found several pieces of supportive evidence that proved that he is who he says he is. But further, in his video, he shares a Dropbox link with a great deal of supportive evidence for all that he is talking about, all that he is claiming. And in that Dropbox, there's actually a video of him and his wife arguing with a drunk Emery Smith. And you see them on the camera together. So yeah, the person is who he says he was. But for the benefit of stupid people, we are going to share the video from his Dropbox link just so that people know, that I didn't just accept any source, and that this gentleman indeed knew. He indeed knew Emery Smith, and this is the Dropbox with all these documents. Basically, this is a great data drop on Emery Smith. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to copy and paste the link into the live chat. So if you'd like to, you can have access to this tremendous data drop, proving what this gentleman says is factually, more or less, factually correct. And he has this data that he can, include. And here's a video. There's a video of him arguing with the drunken Emery Smith. And you see the gentleman from the video we played in this video. So no, I didn't just accept any source and run with it. This person is who he says he is.
They stole our money, Olivia.
Yeah. God, what a fucking
Are you nuts?
What are you
Ow.
doing? You took our money.
Hey, Emery,
You
get
took it-
this
you took
on
it- you
get
took
this
it.
on camera.
You took
Hey, Emery, did you not go to the Boulder court and tell them I was trying to kill you?
Well, yeah, you
Good.
Good.
I'm glad.
Tell him to
We're
come
glad.
arrest Emery
Tell him
Smith.
to come on
See
back.
Emery's fucking face right now.
So here is a drunk Emery Smith arguing with the gentleman from the video, which is, I guess, was his father-in-law for some time. In this video we played earlier, please watch the previous video to see that in its entirety. The gentleman here, Emery Smith's, I suppose, former father-in-law, detailed events in Emery Smith's life that were portrayed an entirely different way by Emery Smith and especially David Wilcock. Again, in an effort to create sympathy for Emery Smith and get people to donate money based on fraudulent, fake information that David Wilcock posted on his website. And we're going to go through this. It is a treasure trove of bullshittery from David, the idiot Wilcock. It is a treasure trove of bullshittery. David Wilcock, how do you make this shit up? How do you keep making up such fantastical fake shit? Do you, I often wonder, does he just got flashcards and he just mixes shit up like Deep State, Men in Black, Cabal, Attack, right? That's David Wilcock for you. It is ridiculous. And equally ridiculous, David Wilcock, this fake shit is still up on your website, okay? This fake shit about all these fake events in Emery Smith's life is still on your website, and the donate to the Emery Smith Fund PayPal link is still live on your website, you asshole. We're going to go through that blog post, and we're all going to have a laugh at David Wilcock, the idiot, the fucking fake bullshit king, David Wilcock, you fucking idiot. Busted. We busted you now, you asshole. How many times am I going to prove you a fucking liar, you asshole, David Wilcock? How many times am I going to show the public that you just make up fake shit? How many times do I have to do that? How many times do I have to do that? While you sit in your fucking $1 million man cave mansion, you asshole, collecting money from stupid people who believe you somehow. How can anyone believe you, David Wilcock? How many fucking times are you going to get caught lying just by me, let alone by everybody else that's out there catching you lie through your fake fucking teeth? That's it, Wilcock. We got you lying through your fake fucking teeth. We got you lying through your fake fucking teeth, David Wilcock. And we're going to read it all. And we're going to laugh at you, you fucking lying disinformation asshole. Let's share, shall we? Let's begin, friends, shall we? So we're going to share David Wilcock's blog. And the post is titled, let's see here, ET Insider, Emery Smith hit with massive attack after coming forward. Of course, it was David Wilcock who claimed that Emery Smith autopsied some 3,000 alien bodies. But later, I guess they had a falling out, and Emery Smith said, oh no, he lied about that. It was 3,000 tissue samples, not, I didn't autopsy bodies. No, I just examined tissue samples from aliens. Okay. So here we go. Emery Smith claims to have autopsied about 3,000 different types of ET humanoids. Even he refutes that. David Wilcock, you fucking idiot. Why don't you take that down? When the guy you're talking about in your blog post says, that's not accurate, that's fake, I never said that, David Wilcock made it up, you should probably take that off of your website, you dumbass. The day after we announced his coming forward, he was hit with an attack that landed him in an emergency room. Right before his health collapse, 3 black SUVs followed him and abducted his dog, Raven. Miraculously, Raven was found alive by a good citizen after the perpetrators dumped her off on the highway. However, immediately after the abduction, Emery developed pneumonia-like symptoms with a fever and skyrocketed up to 105. The ER in Palm Springs could not admit him until 7 a.m. the following morning. Okay, his oxygen level went down to 90%, which when coupled with the enormously high fever could easily have killed him. This all screams of foul play. As we were finishing this article, his health slipped and he had to go back to the hospital once again. We are calling for your prayers for his health and safety. Our last article shared the story of a dog's abduction in an update. First of all, David Wilcock, you asshole. Listen, if the deep state or the men in black were out to shut him up, wouldn't they just kill him? Why would they kidnap his fucking dog, you dumbass? Okay, the men in black and 3 SUVs came and they stole his dog from him. That's what you're claiming in this post. You asshole, David Wilcock. What a fucking douchebag you are to go, and you wrote this. It's preserved for all eternity, you dumb dickhead. Jesus Christ, David Wilcock, you dumb dickhead. I can't believe what a fucking dumb dickhead you are. But this is David Wilcock. It's par for the course. These attacks reek of desperation on behalf of the deep state. Why would they try to completely destroy his life if he was simply making up stories, as their paid trolls will assert? I guess I'm one of those paid trolls, right? Because I think he's just making up stories. The guy said he was an astronaut, you asshole. Hey, David Wilcock, you used him as a source, right? For years. Did you vet that he was an astronaut, you asshole? Did you check that he was set to work on the International Space Station, going up in the space shuttle? Did you check on any of that shit, or did you just believe him because you're a fucking dumbass? God, Jesus, I don't know. Look, we got to get through this. This blog post, by the way, is like, I don't even know how many pages. Look, we're only up to this little bit, and it just goes on and on and on. Think about the implications. When you've been lied to for so long, in fact, born into a world where all you've ever known is lies, it can be very difficult when the truth finally appears. Hey, David Wilcock, I'm still waiting for any kind of truth to finally fucking appear from you. You're talking about being born into a world of lies in a blog post that's now proven, factually proven. We busted you, asshole. Factually proven that everything in this blog post of yours is a fucking lie, you asshole. So, first of all, the story about him ending up in the hospital, well, his supposed one-time father-in-law told a completely different story, you asshole, David Wilcock. He wasn't attacked by the men in black or the deep state or the cabal. He had alcohol poisoning and had to be hospitalized because of it, you asshole. And as for the dog got away. Somebody found the dog and they returned the dog to him. How the hell are you seeing some kind of conspiracy with 3 black SUVs following him and stealing his dog over him? What actually happened is he got drunk and let the dog out. One of the neighbors found the dog. The father-in-law went, got the dog with his wife, and returned it to Emery and that gentleman's daughter. He was an eyewitness. He was also an eyewitness to this event that you're trying to claim he was poisoned or he was attacked, which really that gentleman was witness to. No, you asshole, David Wilcock. He had alcohol poisoning. Yeah, he was sick, self-inflicted sick, you asshole. How do you get away with making this shit up? It's ridiculous. There is a level of UFO secrecy that goes far above the U.S. military. The highest generals, even the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, same old shit from David Wilcock. Oh, Eisenhower wanted to invade Area 51. Who's your source on that? Oh, the fake CIA disinformation agent that we busted. You know, the one that Jeremy Corbell and Richard Dolan were trying to peddle as a fucking CIA agent that was never a CIA agent. That's your source on that. There you go, lying again, you dumbass. You make this too easy. Yeah, so he's citing Richard Dolan talking to a fake CIA agent about Eisenhower's wish to invade Area 51 if they try to hide secrets from him. David Wilcock, maybe you should start watching my shows. We busted that fake CIA agent. He was never in the military. He was never a CIA agent. And even Richard Dolan later said, yeah, I don't think he was credible. Shit, I got caught with another fake fucking story, because that's what we all do here in UFO land. We sell fake fucking stories. They all do it. Some more than others, but they all do it. Okay, let's get back to this. Allow yourself to speculate. Oh, I don't even want to. I don't even want to go there. Okay, how are we gonna get? David Wilcock has got it. He's got to take 85 pages to explain a 5-minute story. Oh, Emery never intended to come forward. Emery never wanted to come forward about any of his black ops experiences. You asshole, David Wilcock. Here you go, lying again. He didn't have any black ops experiences because you can get his DD-214, you asshole, and it proves that he was a low rank grunt. A nobody in the military. He wasn't special forces. He wasn't black ops. Those are his fantasies or yours. He never was in black ops or anything of importance in the military. He was a fucking nobody grunt, you asshole. And his DD-214 is the factual evidence that proves that. So here's another lie in your fucking bullshit blog. Boy, you should just call it the bullshit blog, David Wilcock, you asshole. Just call it the fucking bullshit blog, because that's what it is. That's what I'm seeing. This is all bullshit. Every line of this is fucking fake. There were threats and attempts on his life since I started anonymously leaking some of his intel. You don't get intel. You get Fantasyland stories from LARPers and fake fucking people whose backgrounds don't add up. You asshole. You don't get intel. You don't have any intel or intelligence of your own, even though you claim to have 180 IQ. And by the way, Einstein only had an IQ of 160. So you're smarter than Einstein, David Wilcock. Then how do you keep fucking up trying to sell these lies? How is it so easy for a dumb slob like me to catch you lying over and over and over? How many times am I going to catch you lying to people and begging for money, you asshole? Here we go. There were threats and attempts on his life. Yeah, right. Yeah. And we heard about the so-called threats and attempts on his life. We heard the real story behind that earlier in our previous episode from this source who knew Emery Smith very well and claimed that he was a drunken mess. And that was the source of a great deal of his problems. It's not the deep state. It's not the men in black. It's that old demon alcohol, right? Apparently, Mr. Smith is such an alcoholic that he needed to get injections or he would have terrible withdrawal symptoms when trying to stop drinking. He'd get the shakes too. That's a bad alcoholism addiction. That's a bad problem. And I pray that he's going to get the help that he needs. But for David Wilcock and him to run around and allow, listen, David Wilcock, if David Wilcock made all this shit up or Emery Smith fed it to him, those are the only two choices, or they both worked in concert to make this shit up, to have something to talk about at conferences, in videos, on radio show appearances. They always got to have some drama to talk about. This is exactly what happened to Pete Peterson after coming forward on Cosmic Disclosure, which much more controversial information. And there's another fake source of David Wilcock. Pete Peterson has been blown out of the water as a complete and total fraud. We've done that for you. We've done that for you, David Wilcock, you asshole. Try harder. Get some real sources. You amateur hour clown shoes fucking bozo at this. Oh, he talks about David Wilcock's break sabotage. This wasn't the Dark Alliance. Always blaming the Dark Alliance. God damn it, David Wilcock. By the way, I'm supposed to be a member of the Dark Alliance. If I am, look, you motherfuckers in the Dark Alliance, you assholes. I didn't get a fucking membership card. I didn't get access to the super secret chat room where we all get together and plot, how we're going to, do Dark Alliance rituals and black magic against these truth-seeking spiritual gurus that were, it's ridiculous. The Dark Alliance is a fucking fantasy made up by Corey Goode and David Wilcock to explain away their critics. That's what it's for. It's a propaganda piece. And any asshole that believes in something called the Dark Alliance, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Go seek counseling for your idiocy. Go try to educate yourself, you dumb shit, for believing this shit. Okay. Emery's home in New Mexico was broken into and everything was stolen or otherwise destroyed. This included large crystals that had been completely smashed into worthless powder on the ground. How do you smash a crystal on the ground into powder? Okay, David Wilcock. Evidence was planted to make it look like the work of drug addicts. Well, there is substantial and supportive proof that Emery Smith was involved in drug dealing in the form of selling psilocybin, right? So it could very well be that some drug addicts that he was involved with broke in his house and did that. Why does it got to be the men in black? But we heard the story from Emery Smith's at one time. I'm just going to keep calling him at one time father-in-law because he doesn't, he doesn't clarify too much in his video, but he was the father of Emery Smith's live-in girlfriend. So yeah, he detailed this event as being a nothing burger. Nothing happened. And the bullet, David Wilcock shows the bullet left on the counter. The same caliber of bullet for two guns, which Emery Smith owned, but had to hawk because he was in such dire straits. He needed the money to live off of. So he was hawking, according to this source we have, everything he owns. And that bullet is the same caliber. So is it just a coincidence, David Wilcock, you fucking dumb schmoo? Is it just a coincidence that the bullet that you say the Cabal, the Men in Black, the Dark Alliance left on his counter is the same caliber of bullet for the guns he just hawked? Is that a coincidence? That's a fake event. These events are fake. Yeah, he went to the hospital, but he wasn't poisoned by the deep state, right? He had alcohol poisoning. That's the truth of that event that you're trying to dramatize into some fucking science fiction fantasy story that you think you live, you asshole. And this event where his house was broken into, again, a big nothing burger. This gentleman paid the last month's rent on that home. I believe that he had intimate knowledge of this so-called event, and he says that David Wilcock made this shit up. So there you go, David Wilcock, you dumb asshole. We got you lying through your fake fucking teeth again. You're lying through your fake fucking teeth, David Wilcock, in this blog post. Wow. Okay, let's see. The reason that this and previous articles have been lengthy is that's what the data will be scrutinized far more in the future if there comes a... What is he talking about? The alliance will make its moves regardless of whether I am involved in any way or not. Their plan does not revolve around me or my work. There's no alliance. You just made that shit up. There's no alliance. Every time this asshole says alliance, he's just making shit up. He doesn't know anything about this shit. This isn't real. It's fucking fantasy land. It's fucking fantasy land. This does seem to be interconnected. I have been telegraphing for 3 days via electronic communication that I was writing the big one, i.e. this article. You're so proud of this work of fiction that you created around fake events of Emery Smith's life that never happened. This is the big one. This is your big one. E.T. Autopsy Insider. Emery Smith hit with massive attack after coming forward. He was hit with a massive hangover, you asshole. He alcohol poisoned himself and had to be hospitalized, you asshole. There was no Dark Alliance. There was no Men in Black. There was no black SUVs following him. Nobody stole his dog, you fucking dummy. Jesus Christ, how do you fucking live with yourself selling this shit? When you go to sleep at night, do you think, man, I did a real good job lying to all those people today? I did a real good job. I had a good day of lies. Oh, and then he takes a moment to beat up Tom DeLonge for the soft disclosure. He's a fake disclosure person. Yeah, that's their narrative. Everybody else wants drip disclosure, not full disclosure. Corey Good says the same horse shit, and it's all fake. It's all horse shit. You might find your way into this through the military. Oh, here we go again. Emery, we're back to where we were. Emery never meant to come forward. So he says here Emery's home in New Mexico was broken into and everything was stolen or otherwise destroyed. Didn't happen. That did not happen. You made that up, or Emery Smith made it up and you just believed him without checking sources or vetting him, which is just as bad, I suppose. Oh, here we go. He starts talking about Paul's intel was mentioned in the case. Remember, this gentleman from the video we played earlier today said that David Wilcock just made up a pseudonym for Emery Smith called Paul. So every time in this article, when he's saying Paul, and most of the article is about Emery Smith, so it seems to reason that this dumbass, Paul is another one of his top secret insiders. But really, it's just Emery Smith telling him different stories, according to this gentleman. So we got you lying again about a fake source, you fucking dumbass. How many times do we got to catch you lie, David Wilcock, you asshole? Some of Paul's intel was mentioned in the case. I profiled his testimony on smart suits, which, as it turns out, are very advanced. I mentioned films like Spider-Man Homecoming, in which Tony Stark character gives Peter Parker a similar suit as himself was using as the Iron Man. Do you watch too much fucking science fiction and superhero movies? Is that your problem, David Wilcock? Is that why you think you have superpowers? Is that it? I'm confused. Only a half hour after this intel was posted, Emery suffered a head-on collision while driving his SUV in Topanga, California. The timing was very suspicious, to say the least. No. Here's where you're lying again. Emery Smith got in a vehicle accident while driving drunk, and there is ample and supportive evidence to prove that. You dumbass. Another lie in your blog. Another lie in your blog. How many times are you going to lie in one blog post? Well, the blog post is like 80 pages long. Okay, here's the bullet left for him. After I leaked his intel, and David Wilcock's brake sabotage wasn't the Dark Alliance. His house was burglarized to the bare walls. No, that didn't happen. You made that shit up, or Emery Smith made that shit up. The cabal is on the verge of mass public exposure. I am one of the people covering that story with intel most others don't have. You don't have intel. You have Fantasyland stories that you just fucking pull out of thin air. You don't have any intel. If you did, then some of this shit would end up being real. And 20 years you've been doing this, David Wilcock, and none of this shit is real. And people keep catching you lying over and over and over again, catching you making fake shit up. This seems to be interconnected. I went into more detail and the threats. Oh, I'm sorry, friends. I just can't even. One of our top insiders was almost killed just a half hour after we released part 2. Oh my God. He's claiming people were. Paul was nearly killed in a head-on collision. That wasn't Paul. That was Emery Smith driving drunk. This is particularly significant because we had released more of his highly sensitive intel in that same. Again, he keeps using these terms: intel, briefings. No, you asshole. And here's supposed pictures of Emery Smith's house being burglarized. Oh, and here's the vehicle accident, which, by the way, right? That was not Paul. That was Emery Smith driving drunk. That's what caused this very disturbing vehicle accident. And how do you turn? And the Range Rover, right? We heard that gentleman mention Emery Smith drove a Range Rover. Isn't it a coincidence? This man says that you lie and that Paul doesn't exist and Paul is Emery Smith. Paul also drives a Range Rover, a very expensive car, by the way. And here, I don't mean to laugh. That's terrible if somebody gets in a big car accident like that. Paul's body collided with the windshield, leaving visible cracks, as you can see here. Blood was found on the window and the driver's side door. Lastly, he escaped with whiplash and a concussion, and nothing more severe than the final loss of everything he owned. Since then, we have taken elaborate precautions to ensure that his valuable information can never be lost. We still have more to say on that soon enough. Elaborate precautions meant getting him to come forward. Oh, geez Christ. So he talks about Emery and him filming his testimony. It just goes on and on. I'm trying to find, though, there's a PayPal donate button. Oh, proof of the dog's abduction. No, you asshole. This isn't proof of the dog's abduction. This is proof that somebody found a lost dog. You fucking dumbass. How do you get away with this? This is proof of the dog's abduction. We heard this gentleman in the video earlier today say it's a nothing burger. The dog got out because Emery was drunk. The dog got out, got lost. One of the neighbors found the dog. Him and his wife went and got the dog and returned it to Emery Smith. There's no cabal here. There's no black men, there's no men in black and black SUVs. And why the hell would you steal somebody's dog if you were a government agent anyway? This makes absolutely no sense. But this is proof to idiot David Wilcock, the guy with the 180 IQ. And I got to tell you, for having a 180 IQ, I would think he would be a better liar. Many things were left out of the update for Emery's own safety. It was a combined operation. What happened to the dog was only part of it. Simply put, he was already in the emergency room by the time I posted proof of his dog's abduction. You didn't post proof of his dog's abduction. You posted proof that somebody found a lost dog. You asshole. You never posted any proof that the men in black. Come on, David Wilcock. Up your game. I challenge you. Where is the proof that the men in black stole Emery Smith's dog? You asshole. Nobody stole his dog. The dog got out because he was drunk. You fucking asshole. This is David Wilcock. He'll take anything that he thinks he can use and he just twists the facts, pepper it with a bunch of lies, really do it up. Make this science fiction Buck Rogers, he's a government insider story shit seem legitimate, right? It's ridiculous. I don't want to keep saying ridiculous. I got to stop saying ridiculous so much when it comes to these clowns. Whoever did this may have hoped that the addict shock of having his dog stolen would further weaken his health and cause him to actually die. One possibility, based on things Pete Peterson has told me, is that Emery was shot with an ice dart by one of the SUVs that went by before grabbing his dog. Holy shit, the men in black shot him with an ice dart. What was in that ice dart? Well, gee, this is what David Wilcock says. This might not feel like more than a bug bite, but it could easily be loaded with viruses and or pathogens that could make you develop a sudden huge fever. Okay, look how fantastical this is. Where the hell is he getting this shit? This is some crazy speculation. Maybe the men in black shot him with a dart that had a pathogen in it while they were going to steal his dog. Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, sounds good. He wrote this shit out. Does he proofread this after he fucking writes this shit? How do you not read this and say, this sounds too crazy, I'm going to take those lines out? Not David Wilcock, because nothing is too fantastical a lie for David Wilcock. Nothing, friends. There is no fantastical lie too big for this asshole to tell. And it's all documented. You wrote this in a blog, you asshole. It's going to be here forever. And my proof that it's all lies is going to be here forever. So who wins this game? David Wilcock, you dumbass. Jesus Christ. Sad but true that even with all this said, there are people who still deny any of this actually happened. Yeah, do you mean like the eyewitness that was there for most of these events who says you're full of shit, whose video we played earlier? He denies, and he's an eyewitness. He was actually there during these events. Were you there, David Wilcock? Because he was, and he says you're full of shit. And by the way, so do I. But now we have more substantial proof that you're full of shit. Another time that we've busted David Wilcock lying through his fake fucking teeth. He's lying through his fake fucking teeth on a public blog post. You asshole. No level of proof will stop the paid trolls from making such accusations, but my goal here is to reach the real people who might be on the fence. Oh boy, I guess I'm one of those. David Wilcock, I'm not a paid troll. And by the way, I just want to make a quick sort of disclaimer statement. The purpose of this video is not to slander, intimidate, harass, or damage the reputation of anyone. The purpose of this video is to educate the public on just how easily these people in the so-called consciousness or UFO community use deception and fake stories and try to profit from them. That is my purpose here, to show people that these people lie through their teeth and then they ask you for money, right? So all of this stuff is designed to make people feel sorry for Emery Smith, right? And after this big buildup, oh, look, he's got a hospital bracelet. It must be true, right? And here's showing some of his records. Like, okay, he had a blood test while he was there. I'm trying to see what they have a list of what medications he was given, because one of them might be for alcohol poisoning. I'm going to look that up. Update while writing. He has to go back. As I was writing this update, he had gotten to the point, Emery texted me and said his condition has worsened again and he is going back in. Oh, and here's a video that he took down. Oh no, Gaia took it back because Gaia and David Wilcock are on the outs. And here David Wilcock, pretty ballsy. We will not be intimidated. David Wilcock, it's easy for you to say you're not going to be intimidated when you're making up fake shit like fake government agents, fake men in black. I have a feeling if you had to face a real federal agent that was coming after you, you would run like a bitch, okay? But since these are fake, yeah, I'm not going to be intimidated by these attacks because they're fake attacks, you asshole. None of this is real. The gentleman on the video that we played in our previous episode here detailed point by point that all the shit that you wrote in this blog is fake. It never happened. None of that ever happened. Most of it was just Emery Smith having alcohol-related issues, car accidents, letting his dog out, got drunk and let his dog go and get killed on a highway. All of these things were related to his alcoholism. And here we see, once again, David Wilcock taking advantage of somebody that has issues. Just as he took advantage of Pete Peterson, who was a senile old man, here, apparently, he's taking advantage of a man with very, very severe alcohol-related issues. And David Wilcock if this is how you use your friends, I would hate to see what you do to your enemies, really. Normally, the deep state would simply roll out a whole mess of troll videos trying to discredit Emery and make him look bad for whatever reason. He deserves to look bad from what I've seen. Doesn't seem like a very trustworthy or credible individual. Certainly not somebody whose crazy, fantastical stories we should just believe based on his past criminal activity that's been proven. I don't think he's somebody that can be trusted. And it's not trolling if people are out there telling people the truth about this shit. So, yeah, that's David Wilcock. Label anybody opposed. Okay, anybody opposed is, a big problem. I'm trying to find the PayPal link. It's here somewhere. I'm sorry, friends. I'm a little bit visually impaired, so. Oh, click here to donate to the Emery Smith Survival Fund. What are we trying to help him survive? His alcohol benders? Because that's what all this was related to, according to an eyewitness that was there at these events. David Wilcock, you asshole. And here is another time where you tell a whole bunch of fantastical stories and then want people to donate money to one of your friends. And by the way, the link is still live. People are still donating, I guess, to Emery Smith. The gentleman in the video we played earlier said that he raised between $50,000 and $60,000 through this PayPal scam. It's a scam. If none of those events happened and you're asking people to donate money based on those events, it's a scam. I'll say it again. This is fraud, David Wilcock. This is fraud. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next, but Mr. Wilcock has just a few plays here. He can ignore this and hope it'll go away, but it won't. Or he can address it. He can apologize. He can take that blog post full of lies down from his website. But will he? I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think that he's going to do that. I think that he's going to double down. And it'll be that gentleman who was an eyewitness is a member of the Dark Alliance and the Deep State. Isn't it funny how the Dark Alliance membership keeps growing as the critics against these fake fraud fairy tale hucksters increases? You know, I've seen somebody come literally out of nowhere. Nobody knew them in the UFO community and the consciousness, whatever you want to call it, conspiracy land. And within making a few videos, they were suddenly a member of the Dark Alliance, according to David Wilcock, Corey Good, and their ridiculous narrative. And it's all an attempt to convince their followers that they're somebody special. They get intel. They don't get intel. They get fantasies. They get, they get ideas from Stargate and from Star Trek and run with bullshit fake stories. And people, yeah, I gotta say, good for them though, because people throw money at them for this fake shit. People want to believe it so desperately that they are willing to just forget about discernment, forget about logic, common sense, facts, or evidence, and just believe an asshole like David Wilcock. David Wilcock, once again, we busted you lying through your fake fucking teeth. You lie through your fake fucking teeth to people. Every time that you appear somewhere, you lie through your fake fucking teeth. Every time you write a blog post, you lie through your fake fucking teeth. It's ridiculous that you get allowed to do this. When is law enforcement going to step in and do something about what you do? When is that going to happen? Is it legal for you to just write a blog post full of totally fake, made up stories about somebody in an attempt to garner sympathy for them and then solicit donations for that person based on 10 pages of lies and events that never actually happened? Is that legal? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Doesn't seem like it should be to me. It's certainly not ethical. It's certainly not the moral thing to do. And by the way, David Wilcock, you asshole, you have a spiritual foundation. I don't understand somebody that's supposed to be a spiritual guru lying through his fake fucking teeth so much. You want to be a spiritual guru? Here's how you start. Stop lying through your fake fucking teeth for a living. Go get an honest job, right? You got money. Go help the poor or something. Take a break from lying to people for a while. See what that does to your soul. Maybe you'll feel better about yourself, knowing that you don't have to wake up every day and make up more fake stories to sell stupid people. Maybe that would improve your mental clarity, David Wilcock. Maybe that would improve your karma, and you'd be able to win at something besides lying and making up fake shit. Maybe you ought to look into that. A spiritual guru who gets caught lying to people every time he opens his fucking mouth is not a spiritual guru. And any of you assholes stupid enough to believe anything coming out of this jackoff's mouth deserve to get conned. I can't help you if you're fucking stupid enough to believe him. How many times do I have to show you that all David Wilcock does is make up fake shit and lie to people before it sinks in and these people stop sending him money for fake shit? But this is where we're at in life. And people who tell the truth or try to tell the truth. Look, you can cover these strange subjects and these strange stories and not just lie to people. You can say, I don't know if this is real. You don't have to present everything as factual. But see, there's not much money in that. There's much more money in going, I talk to aliens. Really, I do. I don't have any proof that I talk to aliens. And again, on this subject of Emery Smith, why has he been getting a pass? He got a pass. And I think the reason may be that he comes across as much more genuine. And at least I've heard he's a little bit nicer to people when he meets them. He is not very accessible. If you want to ask him questions, you got to pay, right? Take part in my webinar where I'll be answering questions. It only costs $50. You too can get the disclosure truth about those aliens. Just buy my webinar for $50, and then you can ask me some questions. Bullshit. And, as far as his education goes, I'm only able to verify that Emery Smith went to high school. Can't find proof of any other additional education. That's not to say it doesn't exist. Maybe I'm a terrible researcher and I could not find it, but it does exist. I don't know. But one thing that I do know for certain is that you don't get to be a NASA astronaut if all you did was go to high school. You're going to need a college degree to be a NASA astronaut, Emery Smith, you dumbass. Okay, so we're going to turn our attention to the live chat. Rodrigo, it boggles the mind how people can't see through Wilcock's BS. Unbelievable. Yeah, or they just want to believe in this shit so much that they're willing to, give him a pass. Oh, maybe he lied about that, but this is probably real. I've heard people tell me that. Oh, well, yeah, he lied about the Pete Peterson GoFundMe, but, that doesn't mean that all the stuff he talks about aliens isn't true. Yeah, it does. Once a liar, always a liar. David Wilcock is a fucking liar. And I got to say it one more time. He lies through his fake fucking teeth. Yeah, haven't they seen John Wick? Don't mess with a man's dog. I've never seen John Wick, but I've heard that reference, don't mess with a man's dog, from John Wick. I heard it's great. I just haven't gotten a chance to experience that whole series. But I'm going to binge watch that soon. It's on my list. So, friends, any questions or comments for me, please do put them in all caps. And, today's funny because I've never done 2 shows in one day, but I thought I'd rather get this all out in one shot. Let's cover this. And we're calling this Donate Gate. And here's why. David Wilcock has an entire page of fake stories about Emery Smith that never happened, and we have a source that's an eyewitness. By the way, I'm reaching out to him. We're going to try to interview him here live on our show. I'm hopeful that he will participate. Seems like a good person, somebody that I want to know more, and somebody that I want to pick that guy's brain and see what else he knows. Apparently, as you go on in that series, and we're going to do that, he's claiming that Emery Smith was involved in drug dealing, selling psilocybin and other things. And also in his Dropbox, there is a story about a Gaia director getting caught in Emery Smith's Range Rover with mushrooms in the car. So that's interesting. And maybe that would explain some of the behavior we see with some of these cosmic con artists, that they're running around doing mushrooms and psilocybin and smoking and drinking so much that they see aliens. I don't know. Okay, friends, let me just check in. Don Crazeface earlier posted on our previous video, which is part 1 of this. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check that out. Don Crazeface commented, "I am ecstatic Emery Smith is being exposed with documentation, arrest records, provable facts, etc. I have watched almost all of this guy's vids by now. His info specifically exposing Emery is great." Yeah, I agree, and that's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to sort of amplify his message. You know, I happen to have a slightly bigger bullhorn than him, and I think we get more of the UFO community are tuning into us than maybe tuning into him. He just started this brand new channel. I thought it was important that we help him share that information and get the real truth out to people. And Don Crazeface, I did read the rest of your comment, but I'm going to talk to you about that off air. Let's see, what do we have in the live chat? Went to school and he called Art Bell as a person from the future while on his other job. I think you're talking about David Wilcock. We started a drinking game. We drink every time you call David Wilcock an asshole or a schmoo. He's not just a schmoo, Keltruth77. He gets the distinction. David Wilcock is a super schmoo deluxe. That is a term, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've heard it in Philly for the first time years ago. And that is for a total fucking dumbass, dweeb, asshole, loser. Like the lowest of the low is a super schmoo deluxe. I call David Wilcock a super schmoo deluxe. But be careful, because I might just start calling him an asshole, you know, over and over again, just to see you guys get plastered drunk watching my show. I have Wilcock books too. One, he brags about himself half the dang book. I think that's, yeah, and the other half of the book is copied from other people's books. So that's David Wilcock. I bet David Wilcock has never experienced a trip. I don't know. I've seen pictures of him, and apparently he had terrible drug problems at one point, but then cleaned himself up. I don't know if that's true. That's rumors and speculation. Take from that what you will. Not quite sure. Jeanette Krasenko, super schmoo deluxe. Yes. Keltruth77. Okay, super schmoo deluxe gets a triple shot. Yeah, it does. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to copy, let me get this link for you guys. I am going to copy the Emery Smith data dump on Dropbox by this gentleman, and I'm going to put it into the live chat once again, so you people can, you too can experience the treasure trove of information that this person presents to support his sort of allegations and to support his telling of the story about the real Emery Smith that nobody gets to really see except people very close to him. And again, I will say that it is a sad thing, apparently, that Emery Smith has got some drug and alcohol issues, and I do wish that he gets some help for that. It is not a good thing to live with alcohol or drug substance abuse issues, or to live with somebody that has those issues. Out of Mind says I might have to start drinking again. I think we're going to do a drunk show here one day. Maybe we'll do a drunk show. I was thinking of doing a show where we watch a David Wilcock video and we all have to take a drink every time he lies. But I'm afraid I could get alcohol poisoning and dying from trying something like that because I did a test run and I was 10 drinks in before 10 minutes. So that may not be a good idea. William Pixley, he's a grifting, lying drunk. Is that about the deal? Yeah, apparently that is the source of many of his issues is substance abuse issues. And all of these so-called events that the cabal were out to get him and the deep state were out to, kidnap his dog and burglarize his house. Every one of those events was really just involved Emery Smith having a drunken bender and getting himself into trouble while on a drunken bender. Is there a report fraud button on PayPal? Would PayPal then be obligated to warn all donators and authorities of the potential fraud? I don't know, Jean-Claude. I'm going to look into that, though. I know that several people reported David Wilcock for the Pete Peterson GoFundMe scam to GoFundMe, and I don't know whatever happened to that. But we're calling this one Donate Gate, because the fact that these guys can just straight post 10 pages of fake information and then beg people for a survival fund for Emery Smith is, to me, that's fraud. It's a fraud, and it should be a felony. I would think it's mail fraud or wire fraud. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'll have to ask a law enforcement officer their opinion. But to me, doesn't look good. And here we go. There is now 2 times where we've caught David Wilcock dead to rights participating in fundraising scams for his friends, where all the information that he presents and then begs people to donate to his friends is fraudulent, is fake, is fictional, and proven. We can prove that it's fake and that it's fictional. I remember reading that blog post when it first came out and thinking, man, this is such a whole lot of horse shit. And then I remember, if I remember correctly, I did actually take the time to try and find information on these events, and I came up really badly empty. And the reason for that is because it was way too long ago before I knew how to do these things properly. Like, I didn't realize you could just call the local police station and get reports of every vehicular accident that happened in the last few weeks or whatever, or I could have found more information on this whole thing. I didn't realize at the time that you could call and get every report of a burglary or break-in in the area. But this gentleman who's telling his story about Emery Smith is very specific and even gives like the addresses. So we may help this gentleman out and provide more paperwork to back up his claims. I'm inclined to believe him based on what I've seen so far. Okay, yes, there is a fraud thing through PayPal, but you have to write them. Use the evil G. I guess you mean Google? I don't know. Yeah, so here we are now with Donate Gate, a second time that I have exclusively caught David Wilcock writing a bunch of lies and begging people for money based on fake and fraudulent information. We're calling this one Donate Gate, friends. You can hashtag that shit on Twitter or Facebook. And by the way, I'd really appreciate if somebody gives some love to the hashtag David Wilcock Dildo Seeker. It is now, let's do a check, August 26th. We buried the big, huge box of dildos on July 1st. There was 31 days in July. Wow. Yeah, so David Wilcock, man, you've had 31 days in July plus 26 days in the month of August. For 57 days now, David Wilcock has not found a single dildo from the $10,000 David Wilcock Box of Dildos Challenge. For those unaware, I buried a huge box of dildos somewhere in the world for David Wilcock to find with his fake psychic powers. I challenged him to find that box, and if he does, I will donate $10,000 to his favorite charity, even his own. My viewers, there are viewers all around the world who have buried single dildos for David Wilcock to find with his psychic powers. If he finds any of my viewers' secret buried dildos, I will give him $10 for each single dildo that he finds with his fake psychic powers to his favorite charity. So far, friends, he has not found a single dildo. He's had 56, maybe 57 days now to find those dildos. I think his superpowers are failing him. His psychic powers failed him. His government insiders failed him. His secret Space Force friends failed him. He can't even find a box of dildos, but he's going to bring about disclosure, and he's going to save humanity from the coming apocalypse, right? Because he's a spiritual guru. He's a laughing stock of retardation, this guy. Just an idiot. He's an idiot. I can't believe that he can keep going like this. By the way, he's been a little silent lately. Maybe we know why, right? Maybe those $333 courses aren't doing so well, are they, David Wilcock? And God damn it, you got $1 million mansion to pay for. You know, good for him for owning $1 million mansion, but the bank owns $1 million of it. So I'm not impressed, you asshole. You know, I have a pretty meager house, not worth near that, but it's paid for. I do own it, you know, like these guys, right? He's living a millionaire's lifestyle out there selling fake shit. That's what he does. He sells fake shit. And, you know, wow. What more can you say? On a recent interview of Third Phase of Moon, Emery is now talking about alien pets, which is suspiciously sounds like a dog story woo update. Yeah, he's got glow-in-the-dark alien pets. That's what he's talking about. Somebody told me about that earlier. I bet he has found those dildos. I bet he has found those dildos and just wants to keep it for Beth to use on him and doesn't want y'all to know. Ooh, out of mind, did you just say that his wife likes to use dildos on him? Send the cease and desist letter to Out of Mind. We do not support or condone these comments, please. I support and condone those comments, and I agree with that comment. How scary would it be if Campion checks on the dildo box and it's gone? Yeah, you know, that would be scary because I'd be out $10,000, and that'd be a hard one to explain to my wife why I got to pay some asshole $10,000 for finding a big box of dildos that I challenged him to find. Imagine an apocalypse, then whoosh, it's 2525 and boxes of dildos are found buried around the world. Write that story. Yeah, archaeologists may someday find all these dildos and go, what the fuck was going on in 2020 with these people? Middle of a pandemic and people keep burying dildos? They won't. They are scared of me. Yeah, friends. Well, we're just over an hour now, and oh, I got to do something. I have to pull the begging bowl out, and I have to check. Well, first I'm going to check. So, friends, if you like these kind of strange and mysterious stories, and you want to see this show continue, I would sincerely appreciate some support from you. There's a few ways to support me. First, financially, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1 a month. This month, I'm releasing another Mind Hack demo to the Patreon supporters. They also get a backstage view in the form of a audio journal monthly that is just for the Patreon supporters. There's lots of other goodies. I have a Linux operating system that's free for all Patreon supporters with support. So if you have trouble getting it running, I help you. Due to you helping me through Patreon. It only costs $1 a month, but you can give as much as you want every month. But the minimum is $1. I'm happy to see that many people were very generous and giving me 20 instead of the $1. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it. The other way is that you can send a PayPal donation. And the way that works, we're calling it the Not So Super Chat donations. And what you do is you go to our About section of our channel here, and in the About section, there is a PayPal donate button. You click that, and then please make sure that you add a note if you send me a PayPal donation. You can include your chat room user ID in the note line, because I don't want to shout out your real name. And then just give me any message you'd like me to read on air for you, and I will graciously thank you for the kind donation and also read whatever message that you write to me on air. And there are fun and prizes now. Now, friends, we've got fun and prizes. I have to do an actual commercial or some kind of video bumper for this, but somebody asked about, could we have Truthseekers mood rings? And I'm here to make my listeners happy. So yes, we have Truthseekers mood rings. And if you give me a PayPal donation of $10 or more, just include your address and I will ship out one of these Truthseekers color changing mood rings. And yes, I tried this earlier and they do work, depending on the temperature of the room, of course. The color of the jewel changes. It's supposed to be with your mood, but I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. People ask for mood rings. I'm eager to please my viewing audience, so we have free gifts of mood rings for a $10 donation or greater. And for a $20 donation or better, we are giving people these really beautiful rosaries. I have returned to the spiritual practice of praying the rosary. It's trying times right now. These are the rosary beads, and you see these are all natural materials. That means that the beads are wood, and the string between the beads is a braided cotton blend. And these remind me of the rosaries that the Franciscan priests wore on their belt, because they matched their robes. Their robes were brown instead of black like most priests. Anyway, I've returned to praying the rosary as a spiritual practice. And I include, if you get a rosary as a thank you for donating to the show, I give you the rosary, and then I also give you this sort of guide to praying the rosary and some historical background information about the rosary. And, it's just a good way, if you've never prayed a rosary, to start with a nice rosary and a guide to praying the rosary. And I may do either an audio or video recording of me actually praying the rosary, but I kind of feel like that's sort of a private thing, and I don't know that I want to share that in public. I'm a very focused prayer. I pray it out loud. Sometimes I pray it in silence, like if I'm stuck somewhere and doctor's office waiting room, I could just have the beads in my pocket and silently pray. Mario Heat with a kind suggestion: stop wasting oxygen and donate to Stephen, you lowlifes. Kelcher says, yeah, I'm getting that mood ring. Truthseekers rule. I would be happy to send you one. Keltruth, I believe you already gave me a donation. So if you want, just on Twitter, DM me your mailing address, and I will get one of those mood rings out to you for being an early supporter. You sent me a donation when there was no fun and prizes. Just to be nice, you sent me a donation, which is very, very nice. So yeah, I've got a bunch of these mood rings here. I will definitely get one out to you. And I do have to say that I get a little busy sometimes. So if you give me a donation and you don't see your free gift after a few weeks, then just contact me and remind me, because I may lose some. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Out of Mind says Parasite Lives Matter. Yeah, so listen, we did a whole joke thing here, for those that aren't aware, where There was another show host, and God bless him wherever he is. I hope he's doing better. But he kind of had a meltdown and freaked out and started yelling at people to get up off their ass and donate. So I sort of jokingly, started saying stuff like this: "Send us some money, you leeches. Make a PayPal donation," and started sort of joking that people just take my content, they leech, they never donate. And interestingly, I guess I don't know if I know people didn't. People knew that I wasn't being serious, especially if they were familiar with that other show host. But we did a whole thing. Send me your money, you leeches. Come on, you bunch of leeches. Send me some money. And it was pretty funny. So send us some money, you leeches. Make a PayPal donation or become a Patreon supporter, and you get the benefits of that. I got off track here. So the other way that you could support me is to like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share. And subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I'm asking everybody the same thing. Besides like, commenting, and subscribing, that costs you nothing to help us. Please, we all know people that like these strange and mysterious subjects, conspiracy land stuff, ghost hunting, UFOs, cryptid creatures. Please copy our channel address and send it to a few of your friends who you know may enjoy this kind of show, because we would really appreciate your support in helping us to grow the channel. And I guess the final banner: we need your financial support to continue the show. Please consider a PayPal donation or becoming a Patreon supporter if you want to see our show continue. The links are in the About section of our channel, or in the upper right corner, there's a PayPal donate button of the main channel, or a Patreon donate button. And I would really appreciate your kind support so that we can continue to grow the show. I still have plans. Out of Mine has got the Patreon link there. And the PayPal donate button is around as well. Yes. John is the Emperor Worm. And that's another thing. If you leeches donate, then I will raise your status in my eyes from a mere leech to a worm. And if you give me enough money, we'll invent new tiers. Like maybe you could be, I don't know. What's better than a worm? I don't know. We'll figure it out, though. We're going to have tiers. It'll be leeches, worms, whatever else. Jasmine Emery says, great hanging out with you all. Got to hit the sack. Good night, all. Be well, all. Yeah. And here's the PayPal link. So you can send me some money, you leeches. And listen, here's the thing. You got people like David Wilcock that are straight lying to people, getting paid thousands of dollars, living $1 million lifestyles. I don't need a lifestyle like that. But I would sincerely like to make Taco Bell wages here. Does that sound like a strange goal? Because that's my current goal. If I could make Taco Bell wages doing this, something that I love doing, well, that's better than working at Taco Bell, and at least it's minimum wage. And I have to say, there was a few shows where I got the Taco Bell wages and PayPal donations in one evening, and I felt great. Like, all right, I made minimum wage for the show tonight. That's honestly a great thing, right? To be able to say I made minimum wage doing something that I love, it's a good thing. Most of the equipment for the show is handled and paid for. I do need to get some new headphones. These headphones are literally falling off my head. They're all taped together on both sides, and I ran out of black tape. So this one is really like, I have 2 pairs of headphones that I left at the cabin. I got to get some more headphones. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I made Pennsylvania Taco Bell wages, and by that I mean $7.50 an hour, Cal Truth. Big money, no whammies. SBA Taco Bell wages. Yeah. Maybe I should just start a Light Warrior legal fund, Mario Heat. I don't know who I would sue, though. Probably nobody. I'll just take everybody's money. Yeah, so trying to monetize something like this is a little challenging. We've come up with the free prizes and gifts. I am going to have an actual. I am going to have an actual bunch, not a bunch, but a few commercials soon for products that we are going to sell here on the show. More details on that later. But well, friends, it's been a long day. We've actually done a first for us today, which is a double shot of the Truth Seeker show. We've done 2 shows in one day. And I got to say, it wasn't, I thought that this was going to be impossible. I couldn't possibly do 2 shows. Yeah, you can. I mean, if you have, I got a nice break. I got to make myself something to eat, and I took a little bit of a rest and then jumped right back on here. We may do this again. It's a good way to get sort of things off my to-do list. And I've got probably 10 shows that are like, I got to get this done, but they each need a little bit more research, a little bit more work. So I'll be diligently trying to peck away at that and get some shows ready for you guys. There will be a show tomorrow. I'm not sure what time yet, because we may try to do an early stream. I believe, I have to check the numbers, but I believe we may have had the most people watching that we ever had today doing a show, a daytime show. So who knew? I thought that nighttime would be better, get more people. People are finished with their workday, but I always forget that we're in an international world here, and we have people watching in Ireland, and we have people watching in Australia, and there's all different time zones in China. So you never know, but earlier today did better than tonight's stream as far as the number of people watching live. So we're going to try that again as soon as possible and see how it goes. I want to thank you guys, especially those of you who came to both shows. You must really be gluttons for punishment to sit through, what is it, like 3 hours of me in one day. God bless you. Yeah, so listen, friends, we're going to continue coverage of this Emery Smith debacle too. I think we're going to do that tomorrow. So maybe I don't know, that guy's got like 5 more videos about Emery Smith that we can sit through. I'm going to check them out and make sure, because some of them, I did watch a few more, and in some of them he kind of rambles about ufology and the history of ufology for 15 minutes, and then he just gives a few nuggets of information at the end. So I got to timestamp them and figure them out. But we're gonna cover all of them. Oh, Mortimer James, Oh, here we go. Hi everyone. Did I miss it all? Yes, Mortimer James. So can I get anything? Oh, I can't even use my clock watch joke, because I didn't announce the time of the show. We just kind of jumped on. I seem to remember you from the Midnight Hour show, Mortimer James, and I'm happy if you found us here again. I know you recently subscribed. Welcome, Mortimer James, to our little place in the universe here at Truth Seekers. If you like, and I believe that you do like, these strange and mysterious and esoteric subjects, you would enjoy our material here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Mortimer James. And don't worry about missing it. That's what the replays are for. We're going to be wrapping things up here shortly, but you will be able to immediately, I think, you should copy the show link right now, because it won't appear on YouTube for several hours after I end the broadcast. For those who have asked too, I always put the show links on my Twitter. It's just at Stephen Cambion, the name right here on the screen, but no space, at Stephen Cambion on Twitter. I always put the show links. I tried to put the show link before the show starts. Sometimes I forget. Yeah. Keltruth says, I watched every single video today. I skipped over the ones where he was rambling about ufology stuff. The Emery Smith stuff is great, though. Yeah, maybe I'll just pull them all down and make one video that we can play with all the good stuff. We'll see how involved that would have to be. I am going to check our... Let me just check one thing here, friends. checking in with our PayPal and with Patreon to make sure that nobody signed up that I need to shout out. We shouted out the recent Patreon supporters on a recent show. And again, I'm trying to come up with more ways to thank Patreon supporters. We're going to see about doing some additional content that is only for Patreon people. And also, I'm considering to try to grow the Twitch followers. I'm considering doing a few Twitch-only streams, which would mean that if you don't have a Twitch account, you should sign up for Twitch right now, because that is going to be upcoming sometime in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a few just streams to Twitch. They will not be on YouTube, so if you want to catch those episodes, you're going to need a Twitch account, and you're going to have to follow me, because we need Twitch followers. Hopefully soon, people will be able to donate to me on Twitch. We're trying to get the Twitch stream going and the Twitch stream followers increased so that we can do that. Yes, don't forget to leave a comment. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Engagement is engagement, and the more liking, commenting, and subscribing happens, the quicker the channel seems to grow and also increase in the search rankings. Unfortunately, there's some comedy show with the same name as us, so when you just search YouTube for Truthseekers, it's sometimes you have a hard time finding our show. But we'll see what we can't do about that. Nicholas Karupas. Greetings from Campbell, California. Finally, the smoke has abated and the marine layer is coming into the Bay Area. Yeah, I hope that you're safe there in Campbell, California, Nicholas. I am thinking about many friends and family, well, not really family, more friends and acquaintances and listeners and viewers that I have in California. It's terrible what's happening, and I'm going to pray for those fires to be quickly dealt with, and for the least loss of life and homes. Really, it's tragic that your house is in danger. So many people's homes are in danger of just being burnt. It's tragic that's happening. I wish the best for all those people. We should all, take a moment of silence or pray for those people, because that's a terrible situation to be in. 1 second. So, friends, we are going to wrap things up here, and we're going to wrap things up here. Hopefully, I'm trying to find a file here. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to wrap things up here, friends. 1 second. Okay. Nicholas Krupas, we are for the time being as Santa Cruz mounts about my backyard. Yeah, I hope that you're going to stay safe and out of the line of that fires and the trouble, Nicholas Krupas. I wish you the very best. I do. So, friends, I don't know what to say except, I had a good day, because any day when I can catch David Wilcock lying through his fake fucking teeth is a good day. It's just a good day for me. Call me crazy, but, and I don't mean just catch him. I mean, this is a really great example of David Wilcock telling lies and begging people for money again. How many times, David Wilcock, are we going to catch you telling people lies and begging for money donations? I'd like to know. Why do I got to keep doing this shit? Why do I got to keep doing this shit? But, it is what it is, friends. Somebody's got to do it. And if no one else is going to, then let it be me. People deserve to have their eyes open to these con man, cosmic assholes out there telling alien fantasies and claiming they're real stories and taking money from people for it. Something should be done. I really think that we need new legislation passed to prevent these kind of grifts and cons from taking advantage of people. But I can only do what I can do. And, today I think we did a public service. We did a good thing by letting people know, don't donate to this, because this is all, everything in this blog that, everything in the blog that goes before the I suppose the pitch for donate to Emery Smith Survival Fund is a lie. People should know that before feeling bad for poor Emery Smith and donating money to him. And David Wilcock, if you had a conscience, if you weren't just a deplorable, despicable individual, right? If you were a decent person, you would address this, you would make a public statement, you would apologize for misleading so many people and having, what was it that gentleman said? $50,000 to $60,000 in donations for Emery Smith based on you begging for money for your friend. And in closing, Emery Smith, I'm going to ask you to do the right thing and give everybody a refund. But based on all I've heard about the way you handle your finances, geez, you've been evicted, right? Your credit is in the shitter. You can't even rent an apartment. So do I think you're suddenly just going to grow a conscience, have a heart and give all these people their $50,000 to $60,000 back for donating to your fake survival fund? No, I don't think you're ever going to give the money back. I don't think that you're going to be man enough to even address this or talk about it. You're just going to try to roll on and hope that you have a bigger megaphone than me, so people aren't going to hear about this. But they will, Emery Smith. And I'm asking everyone, if you see Emery Smith at a conference, if you attend one of his webinars that you have to pay $50 for, or David Wilcock, right? Ask them about the Emery Smith Survival Fund Donate Gate. Ask them why they knowingly and willingly and deliberately told people a bunch of fabricated stories and then asked for PayPal donations based on those fabricated fake stories for a survival fund for Emery Smith. People, they need to answer people's questions about this. They need to be men and stand up and do the right thing. Do I think they will? Fuck no! They're going to keep the money and laugh at you stupid people that were dumb enough to donate to their con. But one can hope, can't we? One can hope. Well, friends, I'm just going to check in with the live chat real quick. And we will be wrapping things up here. So, friends, until next time, I'm Steve Cambion. Good night, and God bless.